5. All right, we live.
This is the best show ever. Right here, baby. The Barbershop 918.
It is a good show.
Aren't you glad to be alive?
Wow, alive? You go straight to alive? Like, man.
Did he say lie or lie?
I said alive. Aren't you glad to be alive? Not alive.
I thought he said Allah. Like Allah, like we
Oh, so now I'm Muslim? Come on, man.
Allah.
Cut it out, bro.
I think the show is already going in a bad direction.
Cut it out, Jay.
We know you like pork chops, so you can't be Muslim, sir.
Wow.
That's
You know
the
what?
only reason.
You're right. I'm not going to even front.
That man loves his pork.
My wife can cook some pork chops, and a good ham sandwich would do me fine any day, man.
Don't
You know who
mind
make good sandwiches? Bill and Ruth. That's all I'm going to say.
You know who makes a good sandwich in Tulsa? Perry's Meat Market. That's a good sandwich.
Really?
Yes, it stinks.
Where's that at?
They make a good.
It's on Lewis.
On Lewis.
Out north?
Yeah.
Yeah, close to the job.
That's only stores that Drew knows everything out north. He don't know. I don't think Drew's even been out south. Have you ever been out south, Drew?
21st. I dabbled a little bit.
Yeah,
No, when I first moved to Tulsa, I lived in Fairmont Terrace. So yeah, I did.
That's the black part of the south side, though.
Remember, because y'all was talking about the roaches on the one episode, the potatoes and roaches. There's like episode
Fairmont Terrace
like,
hey man, dude, that was an experience. That was like living in Cabrini Green, dude.
It was nice when I lived there.
Well, that must have been like 81.
Okay, I'm not as old as you.
Things are
Let's get the show started, man, before he offends me. And welcome into the Barbershop 918. You up in there with your man, Big Drew.
Big Drew!
J-Rock.
Boom!
And the one and only Raw Dog. All right, we got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to bring you a whole lot of entertainment. We got a top 5, man.
Call with the top 5, baby.
All right. Today's top 5 is going to be top 5 in living color characters. So this one's going to be real good. It's a lot. It was a lot more than I thought when I really started thinking about it. 4 years?
Longer than that. Like 5, 6 years.
5 seasons.
5 seasons? Yeah, it was on for a long time. Now, we all remember that last season when none of the Wayans was on there. Remember that season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only one good character on that season. I forgot. I don't get to have honorable mention, so I'm not going to say anything.
All right.
Remember the character that Tommy Davis played?
Yes, he played a lot of them.
All right, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on. But we got NBA talk. We're gonna talk about the Thunder and everything that's going on with our Oklahoma City Thunder. You see how we have such it's like I don't want to say bipolar as an insult, but like
that's a good word.
Our nature, we have an odd nature when it comes to
love, hate.
Every other week, we either really mad
exactly.
or we're really happy.
Last week it's like, I'm done. I'm just done. Now it's like, all right.
Because last week I was upset, dude.
Yes.
This week I'm like, all right, good to be a fan.
All right, we also got Chase. Well, I wrote down I was about to read off my own notes. We're going to talk NFL talk. We also going to have a little bit of March Madness talk. And appropriately, we've got Raw Dog over here wearing his protest shirt. Because we're going to have to get into the discussion about who got in and who didn't get in. All right, so we got a real good show for you. But as for right now, we're going to get things started with the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's the sweet one.
Yes.
Woo! Like Ric Flair.
Man.
That boy good. I had to get quiet for a second.
I should have been in Blue Magic, man.
How old are you?
See, that's unnecessary, Drew.
I mean, the group you referenced. All right. I thought Trick Daddy was last Sunday on Unsung.
Do what?
I thought it was Trick Daddy on Unsung last Sunday.
No, that was the weekend before.
Oh, okay.
Man, you gotta keep up, dude. It was Blue Magic this past weekend.
Oh, Bubba Sparxxx was on there. What's going on, man?
Bubba Sparxxx?
Yeah, man. It was ugly, man. That was an ugly
The ugly
unsung episode, man.
How many hits
The
did
ugly
Bubba Sparxxx
episode.
actually have, dude?
Ugly.
That was it. Was
and
that
Miss,
really a hit, or was it a curiosity? That was a novelty record.
what was the one that Miss New Booty? Miss New Booty. That was a good one. That,
yes, yeah, that was.
Miss New Booty. Yeah.
That's when Bubba Sparxxx sold out. Y'all know that, right?
What do you mean?
You want to say that?
No, I'm gonna say that. I said it. Bubba Sparxxx sold out when he did Miss New Booty, and his career went downhill from there. Cause sir, you are not Luke, okay? You're Bubba Sparxxx. Be Bubba Sparxxx.
Yeah. Okay. So Jay, let's start off with some real music news.
What?
Bubba
Okay.
Sparxxx sold out. This is the Bubba Sparxxx episode. That's just that we got the name already.
The ugly episode.
Right.
It's gonna get ugly.
Coming in at number 9 is the Kendrick Lamar album, Darn.
What's the name of it?
Darn.
What's the name of that album? No, that's not the name of the album, sir. Let's be specific.
Who left the gate open?
There you go.
Coming in at number 6, Post Malone, Stoney. Number 4, Migos, Culture 2. And a new entry to the charts. Tory Lanez, Memories Don't Die.
I heard that new single he got. It's kind of hot.
He was in the news. He was about to fight, one of the Kardashian, Travis Scott. They was about to fight at a house party. Yeah, I don't know which Kardashian.
These dudes don't really fight, or they always almost about to fight. Have you noticed that?
But the camera's always rolling.
The camera's always rolling, and they always about to fight. Like when the Migos was finna jump, what's his
Joe
name?
Budden.
Yeah, and it really didn't happen, but that made the news that it all happened. Yeah, man. See, back in the day, they actually fought. Now they just act like they're finna fight.
And back at number 1 again, the Black Panther album is number 1 again.
Let me tell you something. My wife is wearing that soundtrack out. I don't even like the soundtrack anymore. You know somebody that would just play music until you can't stand it anymore?
Uh-huh. Your brother-in-law. Yep. He did that with the new.
Did he?
Y'all listen to that together?
Whenever he was the only one that had a car.
Oh, okay.
So
y'all would ride around listening to New Edition in the car. Okay.
Well, there was some R&B.
So wait a minute.
You
got a car full of brothers and y'all was playing slow songs?
Hey, I was a gangster, you know what I'm saying? I rode around my pistol. They would, So,
if you say pistol, you was, that's like Raw Dog's age. You can't say pistol. Okay.
Hey, the statute of limitations are over with. I can't be.
I was rolling around with my
pistol. That is a raggedy.
My granddad said.
Yeah, get my pistol.
About to bust some shots off.
When you say pistol, I only envision a revolver. Like
That's it.
Saturday Night Special. You.
Chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang.
Pistol.
A pistol.
That is hilarious.
You're a real gangster, sir.
And that is my music news for the day. Raw Dog, give us something raw from the box office chumps from this week.
I like that. I tell you what, we got one movie that's worth mentioning coming out this Friday, and that movie is Tomb.
Ooh.
I know Jay don't know about Tomb Raider because this is a video game.
Oh yeah, I know about the video game.
Lara
Croft.
Yeah, well, this is the new updated version of Tomb Raider. I've seen some of the scenes from it. Looks pretty interesting. Got some really great stunts, some good scenery. You're trying to see a good adventure film. This might be it, man.
Is it still got Angelina Jolie in it?
Nah.
They replaced her?
Yeah. They couldn't have. Could you imagine Angelina Jolie doing it now?
Yeah, she's old.
Yeah, she's old, man. They got a young lady named Alicia Vikander doing it. So she's young and, mobile and,
A great value version of Angelina Jolie is what you're pretty much saying.
I guess so. I mean, when Angelina played it, I ain't gonna lie, she played it to the hilt, boy. She stopped.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tomb Raider is coming out this Friday, so it still ain't gonna be Black Panther. I think Black Panther probably still gonna be number 1, but we'll see. Black Panther's a monster right now. So, with that being said, check out the weekend box office from last week. Five. Red Sparrow, about a ballerina turned spy. I went from number 2 last week to number 4. And the new entry at number 3 is Strangers, Pray at Night. That's the movie I talked about last week. It's a good horror flick. And number 2 is the new Oprah film, A Wrinkle in Time. You gonna see that, Drew?
Not yet. I do plan on going to see it. It's strange that you called it an Oprah flick, because this is another one of those movies where people know it by the director's name. Or they usually...
Was it Ava DuVernay?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're slaughtering that last name, but the first name's right though.
DuVernay? I don't know, man.
There you go. But yeah, man, I do. I look forward to seeing it, man. Like, a lot of stuff is going on right now where I hadn't gotten a chance to, but I probably will see it next week when it does so.
I believe if Black Panther wasn't out, it'd be number 1.
Oh, definitely. I think, hands down, it would be.
Yeah. But Black Panther's out, so Black Panther's number 1.
The thing that I love about that movie and it being the number 2 spot, there are little girls going to the movies dressed up like some of the characters. So It's starting to create this thing. And then the statistic that everyone's been talking about all week or since Monday is that this is the first time in recent history that 2 African-American producers or directors with large budgets have movie at 1 and 2 spot. So it's a good time right now, man.
That is significant. What a time in black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are our box office. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be the same thing next week. Black Panther probably going to be number. We'll see. But this week alone, Black Panther made $40 million.
That's
$40 million.
It's still, it can't keep going next week. Like, it has to. Like, I would be amazed if it goes down. But you never know.
It's going to be number 1 next week. I think it's got spring break. I think it's got one more week in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Climbing down to number 2 and number 3, but one more week at number 1 because it doesn't really have any other movies coming out that's going to take it. You know what I mean? So, congrats to Ryan Coogler and Marvel and Disney. This is a good flick for them, and obviously a second one is destined to come.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, it's time for us to get into a little bit of television news, and we got a lot of good things going on around the world of TV. Everyone's kind of read this article here recently that talked about how Blackish canceled. It's the first time ever it canceled one of its episodes. The subject matter was about, the American flag, and ABC just wasn't willing to go there yet. And I'm pretty sure it's caused a rift. So I'm wondering, will this be the beginning of the end for Blackish as far as their relationship, with the network, or
hypocrisy in this, considering that ABC owns ESPN, which plays a lot of NFL games. You know what I mean? How come ESPN or ABC, Disney didn't come out when these cats were doing it in the games, but they want to stop Blackish from doing it? It just seems like there's a little bit of hypocrisy there, man. Oh, it's okay if we do it, in football, but we're not gonna have that seep into entertainment, which football's supposed to be entertainment too. So what's the difference?
I'm gonna be curious to see if they'll ever let that leak, or if we'll ever be able to see clips from that, or will it just be completely killed? Because that's you see it coming, and it's crazy because we're not surprised. Like, when I heard it, they said it was like, yeah, it's disappointing, but I'm not surprised at all. I mean, they let them, it's sort of like, we gave you an inch with that first episode of the season. It's like, I can only let you do so much. So I'm not like fully surprised that they didn't, but you got to try it. It's like, hey.
But what happens creatively now?
Yeah, that's the part where I'm like, is this the beginning of the end? Because what it takes to run a show, what it takes to write and to, in the factor of just had delivered the show, and then having to go back and redo parts of the storyline that we're going to progress through that episode and change it, that changes the whole, integrity of the show for the rest of the season, potentially, and, from here on out. So it is a very challenging thing to just kind of up and just say,
it sets a bad precedent. That's my thing. It sets a very bad precedent. What you think, Jay?
Yeah. It makes, I mean, my thing is, they went this long, like we said, and all these episodes that they've done that may have been controversial, they've all been played. And so, like you said, the whole narrative of, Disney owning ABC and ESPN and, them not giving much coverage to Colin Kaepernick. So when Blackish, who has been good at, everything that has happened in the culture over the last 4 or 5 years that they've been on the air, that they have covered in some way, but for them to shut it down, kind of like with the Carmichael show when they had the episode talking about the mall shooting, but they didn't play that on NBC. It's kind of like, whenever shows that are a message they want to get out to all avenues, episodes, it seems like it's always shot down. And it kind of sucks. And the only way I can see that episode getting played is if it comes out on a box set or a DVD set. Yeah, yep. It'll be like the lost episode.
And I believe it, and I honestly believe it, once we see it, we're going to be like, what was the big deal?
Yeah, it can't be as bad, and I think you do that also when you're going to put it out on a box set, because it's like, hey, this is the only way we're going to be able to sell it is if we really got some stuff that was controversial at some point. All right. But as far as what they did do to kind of make up for it was they gave us an hour-long episode last night, right?
Yeah.
So how was it, Jay?
It was a good episode. It was a great episode. The first episode, Junior, he was walking through the house and he had that look, and Dre knew right away that Junior had finally got some action, and so he was happy about that. He told the people at work, they were pouring up champagne, but then Bo was like, "Okay, you do." I killed the girl, just wanted him to, because she was going off to college, so he was sitting right there.
Oh.
So, and then the second episode, what's my girl's name? On Insecure this season. Dang, what is her name? She was like the preppy light skinned girl.
I know you're talking about.
She was in Floetry. I can't think of her name right now.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she was Junior's history teacher, and his grandma thought that she was hitting on Junior. And so she was telling her, and the teacher ended up getting fired from his job. But also, Bo and Dre were trying to make Jack and Diane out to be like the next, big stars. Like they pretty much turned them into Jaden Smith and Willow Smith, because they changed their hair up and everything, and they had a event where they wanted to just do like a volcano, and they ended up doing something else, and they didn't get a good grade on it because it wasn't right.
Well, while you was watching that, I was watching Black Lightning.
Good show this week.
Not bad, man. Your girl is not on the show anymore, Jay. What's her name?
Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Hey, no, don't stop, man. Stop it. Oh. Don't tell me. No. Too much. Too much.
Supposed to say,
then don't say nothing. Just wait. Just wait.
Just go into the shot. Just go into the shot.
Let's go. Yeah, you got me out here in slave voice. Just hush. Hush now. Hush. I don't want to know what happened to Jill Scott.
I just playing. She was in this episode.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
Okay,
I'm actually happy.
Drew's doppelganger shaved all of his beard off.
And he looks just like you now, man.
I tried to grow, I'm doing my best to grow as nappy of a beard as possible to see how much I look like him. But
hey, man, Ronnie's beard was nappy, boy. He looked like Isaac Hayes' beard, man. That's not nappy. Like, you gotta put a comb through that, you're gonna break some teeth. But he went ahead and shaved it all. Looked like a totally different dude, man. And it was an interesting thing between Ronnie's ex, I guess, and old boy's Kugelsbaum, the one that got killed for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. She basically told old girl that, hey, my son did not kill your son. And we also found out who the real father is of the basketball star that got killed in the first episode. I don't want to do any spoilers. Have you seen it yet, Drew?
No.
I don't think Drew watches the show.
No, I mean, I've watched up to episode 5.
We know who the real father is. Ronnie wasn't his father. But now we know who the father is. Now we know why there's a certain character in the story that's going hard to find out who killed this boy. There it is. That is Drew's doppelganger, boy.
No.
That's because he like Kobe, man, after the trial, man. That's why he shaved all his hair off.
Yeah, Drew, you cut all your facial hair off, you're going to look just like that, man.
I don't see it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I even got the same nose, man. That's scary.
I don't see it. But how does he make himself look so old? He looks older on the show.
Well, first of all, I don't know if that beard is real. Maybe I don't know how you get that beard that nappy. That don't even look like real nap.
Yeah,
that's like artificial nap. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. You got a cousin or something out there, man. What's his name, dude? That's your cousin, man.
His name is
Natar
Dumba Mabaga
Natura Duma Mambaho. You're from Wakanda, man. You related to him, dude.
Wakanda.
Oh man.
You are not allowed to speak.
You know how many people do that and all they doing is revealing they brown gums from years of just smoking Black and Milds
and drinking coffee. Just nasty.
Black and Milds, what? No, so the Shine is the next week is the season finale.
All right.
Now you remember the little drug dealer that has the little brother that hangs out with the other boys? What's his name? Yeah.
Red.
He been getting his butt kicked for the past 2 episodes. Red's been getting beat up, man. Well, tables turned this episode. And again, if you haven't seen this week's episode, you need to see it. Because the season finale ain't gonna make sense to you if you haven't seen this episode. So if you haven't seen it, it's on demand, Showtime. Check it out. This particular episode was a really, really good episode. Yeah. It's opening up for the season finale. Chicago, baby.
All right, what else we got? Is that it for TV news?
Atlanta,
okay, that's right.
Atlanta is so good. They're 2 for 2 so far this season on Atlanta.
Hilarious, man. It's such a bizarre show. Would you agree? It's bizarre.
So is
you
it like
have to watch?
Is it like Black Seinfeld, pretty much? But,
it is.
Yeah,
it's a show about nothing because nothing really happens, but stuff happens.
You show twice. You have to be up on social media to. The reason why the episode was so popular because he was on social media, and that's where they found him at. From a racial guy that was a black dude said he was a 35-year-old white man.
Oh,
that episode, yeah. But this episode was Sporting Waves.
It was because that was that a school that they were at? Was it a school or what was it?
What do you mean?
I mean, where they were when they were talking to when they wanted him to perform and he wouldn't do it. What was that? Was that like
there was an upbeat record company.
Man, he said it's a vibe here. That place was creepy, dude. It was like a record company if they had Get Out in a record company. It was weird, man. But it was a great show. Great show.
All right, it's time for a top 5. Top 5, top 5.
Ooh. Call it top 5, baby.
Hey, we try to tell them. We try to tell them. Yeah, I try to fill in for it. There you go. I think he's frozen. There he is. He's back.
How long have we been doing this show, man?
I froze up for a second.
I don't want to hear that.
It was you was cold, man. He froze up.
So anyway.
All right, so top 5. Our top 5 today is top 5 in living color characters. And this one is a pretty good one, man. Who came up with this one?
Jay did.
All right. Now,
when I first saw it,
yes,
as an option, I was like, oh, this is limited.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I did the research and was like,
I was like, wow. There was a lot of doggone characters on this show. All right, so I'm going to start, man. Honorable mention.
No. You start off wrong, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. Treat me like I'm some...
I had to put my finger in it it's like you ain't grown.
Number 5, Oswald Bates. Y'all know who he is, right?
Which one is he?
He's the prisoner who can't get his words right.
With the vocabulary.
Yes.
With the vocabulary. Let me synthesize my fallopian tubes. Oswald Bates, baby. Number 4. I know who that is.
Is that Like to Hear It, Here
I
It
wrote
Go?
a song about it.
Like to Hear It. I could not figure out what his name was, and
Calhoun Tubbs, baby. Of course, number 3, Homie the Clown. I didn't make him number 1. Number 3. He was funny, but he wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
Number 2, gotta be Ugly Wanda.
Good.
And number 1, y'all can give me a hard time if y'all want to, but I'm going with Blaine Edwards and Antoine Merriweather.
Yeah.
It's a rain.
What's so funny is I made my list, and then I wrote to the side, I bet you none of them picked any of the men on guys. And here you go. You actually picked them.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I can appreciate good comedy, man. And I'm an equal opportunity offender, sir. It doesn't matter.
What was his name? Antoine
Race, color, or sexual orientation, sir.
It was Antoine Merriweather, or what was it?
Yeah,
it was Blaine Edwards and Antoine
Merriweather.
Yeah.
Dave and David Allen Greer played Antoine.
All right, so my honorable mentions are Head Detective and
Anton Jackson.
The Head Detective and what was I gonna say? The Homeboy Shopping Network, because I couldn't think of their names.
Oh, they really have names.
Yeah, I think they never said their names. All right, so number 5, I got Fire Marshal Bill. When I was little, man, it was funny. I watched it as an adult, and I was like, Fire Marshal Bill ain't that funny. Let's see, the Funky Finger Brothers, the Funky Finger Productions.
Yeah. Tommy Davidson and David Allen Greer.
Yeah, his name was Howard Tibbs III. And
my name is Clavel.
Clavel and Howard Tibbs.
And they put their fingers in people's faces.
Like, bam! Yeah.
Funky Fingers Productions, baby.
Number 3, Vera DeMilo. Number 2.
See, you know what? I didn't like that character.
I put Vera DeMilo in there, and I was like, I liked it when I was little. It ain't that funny now, but I couldn't think of Tubbs' name.
You could have did better than that, Drew.
I really wanted to put on my notes here. I put Like to Hear It, Here It Go. But since I ain't know the name, I just said Vera DeMilo because I knew that name. Homie the Clown as number 2, and number 1 is was that the homeless guy, Anton Jackson?
Oh yeah, he was funny.
Yeah,
but he would eat his own crap.
Yeah, I actually used to do it.
Always have the pickle jar.
The pickle jar with
that jar. It's supposed to be pee.
My brother I used to do that impersonation. My brother would make me do it. Like, company come over, hey, do your Anton Jackson thing. So.
That's great.
What you got, Jay?
Okay. All right, honorable mention. I got Fire Marshal Bill, Grandpa Jack McGee.
Now he's funny. That was funny.
Porky Beast.
Mention, sir?
Yeah. Okay, number 5.
You don't like black stuff, do you? Do you like black stuff?
Number 5, Handyman. Damon, I know in this day and age we can't make fun of that, but back in 1991, that was funny.
It got its own movie.
Funny, huh?
It got its own movie, so hey.
Blank Man.
Oh.
Handyman. Yeah.
Blank Man was Handyman to me. Like, it pretty much was the same thing.
Not really.
It wasn't. No, you're right. You just showed me that there's a difference, but I thought it was the same one. It just clicked in with me that that's not the same character.
Not the same character.
I can't even imitate Handyman. So I can't, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, you shouldn't, man.
You shouldn't be laughing at that, man.
Okay, we laughed at Men on Films.
And you're an educator.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't laugh. It was funny.
Coming in at number 4, Frenchie, the Keenan Ivory Wayne character with the Jerry curl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rick James looking like.
I'm hip, I'm slip, and all the girls
women love my toenails. Yeah, I remember Frenchie.
Number 3, Carl the Tooth Williams, Jamie Foxx.
That's a good one, sir.
That is a good one.
Then what is Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, and also got a comment. They all whoop my.
He's like, this here, right? When Mike Tyson knocked me out, this is when Larry Holmes
The one next to him with a glove in your mouth.
Okay, number 2 is Funky Finger Productions. Where's my I have lost my card? Where can I find it? Bam! And then number 1, Calhoun Tubbs, man. He had me in tears every time on every skit. One where he went to his best friend's funeral and he was talking about the son. He's like, that ain't even your daddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a great character.
And that is my top 5 in living color characters.
That's our 90s nostalgia right there, baby.
Yes, that was a good show, man. That's crazy.
You know, when they asked about bringing it back, they actually went into production and did some shows. But Keenan didn't want, ultimately decided not to do it. You know, comedians are different nowadays. The comedy is different.
Yeah.
And that he didn't want to really do what they were doing today and put the living color title on it because it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And he's right.
It couldn't have been the same.
Huh?
No, I said, no, it couldn't have been the same, man.
No.
Not at all.
No. A lot of cats, Lil Rel, that was on Get Out was on this new and living color. And he said, man, the show was funny, but it's a different kind of funny now than it was in 92. You know what I mean? And you just can't put in living color brand on that. That's got to be something totally different.
Yeah.
Did anybody see Sterling K. Brown on?
One of the funniest episodes of SNL since Chance the Rapper.
Good.
Like that.
He was good on there, man.
Yeah, it was one of the best episodes I've seen in a while. He did. What's the dude? Ben Carson. He did a good Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Man.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, that whole episode was funny from beginning to the end, man. Much better than the Charles Barkley episode the week before, where Charles read consistently, horribly off of. You might as well just been doing this the whole time. Like he had he was.
Why do they keep asking this man?
Because
back,
his reading of the dialogue, that in itself is just hilarious. That's why they keep calling him back.
He's horrible, man.
It was bad. It was bad.
Hey, man, I know some 7-year-olds who could have did a better job than Charles Barkley, man. He tripped over all the punchlines. It never failed. Every time he got to the punchline, he'd trip over it because his tongue.
It always felt like he needed to put on his readers. Like he couldn't quite see it, and then he had to pause right before the punchline.
He would, man. Stop asking this man back. He sucked.
Nah, he's friends with dude. He's gonna be back again.
Oh, you mean Lauren Michaels?
Lauren Michaels, yeah.
They've got
Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning was on there.
Now that was hilarious, yeah. But no,
LeBron James did better than Charles Barkley.
Yeah, the whole Sterling K. Brown episode was, or as we call him in my house, Randall K. Brown. The whole episode, because we can't. That's his name from This Is Us. It was Randall. Oh. So you still don't watch This Is Us.
Y'all sit around and watch This Is Us and cry and stuff.
Let me explain something to you. I mean, tears are optional, but that man acts really well, and his storyline does drag something out of you, okay?
You said tears are optional.
They optional. I don't be sitting up here crying, but it gets your allergies going. This Is Us can get your allergies going.
That's the most gangsterous thing I've ever heard you say. Hey, man, tears are optional, baby.
Yeah, they are. So. All right, man. So it's time for us to move on into a little bit of NFL talk. A lot going on around free agency and a bunch of other different things. So
Cleveland Browns going in, ain't they?
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
man,
Joe Thomas was like, "Look, I can't keep up with these youngsters. I'm out." He just went ahead and decided to retire today. But yeah,
Joe Thomas.
Yeah. I listened to his podcast, and he explained it on his podcast today that it was just. His body couldn't physically do it anymore. So it didn't have anything to do with the change in, the staff changing. In fact, he's excited about that. But he just couldn't do it. He said his knees and everything else was already hurting before he messed up his arm. So, yeah. And it's crazy because they probably will make the playoffs and they probably will do well this year. Potentially. I don't know. They've got all the right pieces. On paper, there's no reason for them to fail, especially with
the Cowboys. On paper, look like they should win a Super Bowl every year.
That's a good
Raw
point.
Dog, I know where you live, and I will meet you at your house.
Yeah.
Is that a threat, sir? Are you threatening me?
It's not a threat. I know where you.
It's a promise. See, Cowboy fans are like that.
Hey, Facebook, do you see this? Who's the bully here? Who's the bully?
Because you could have said the Bears or somebody else. You didn't have to say the Cowboys.
Look good on paper. You know that.
They did in '85, but you didn't have to say the Cowboys. You could have left it alone.
Hey, man, stop getting man.
Ooh, I got the sugars right now because of you, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
You know what? You come over here. I got some chocolate cake for you, sir.
I don't.
That's the answer to him saying his diabetes is acting up. Come over, I got some cake for you.
I got some chocolate cake for you.
Help me.
Let's just let you go into a full diabetic shock, sir.
All right. So outside of let's see, there's a lot of different things going on. The Chicago Bears signed one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time,
Matt Cassell.
Chase Daniels.
His name was Matt Castle.
You finally got the name right, huh? Let's see.
Took you 69 episodes to get
All right,
it right.
we got a question for you, Jay. It says, question, do y'all think Baker Mayfield will be a bust in the NFL? Now, we did promise we would come back to this discussion at some point. What do you think?
Okay.
Oh, it could be for any one of us. It says,
Answer this, because he's an OU fan. Jay, we're listening.
My thing is with Baker Mayfield, you know, he was able to produce on the field, but, you know, he has that stigma that he's like a Johnny Manziel. I feel like in the right system, I don't think he's going to start this year because, you know, sometimes some things, you know, you can make those plays in college, but, you know, it takes time for you to make those moves in the pros. So I think wherever team he's going to come off the bench to start the season off. So I don't think he's going to be a day one starter for whatever team he's going to. I see the Jets just signed McCown, so they're not going to get him. So the Dolphins, you know, he said he wanted to play for the Dolphins, so we shall see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he'll be all right. You know, it's
in the right system.
Good backup. I think he'll do the same thing. Like he'll be like Happy Feet up in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yep.
You know,
I just think there's a question of maturity for Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? Like maybe if he humble himself and really get down to really trying to learn how to be a good, quarterback from whoever's starting over him, really get to know the system. I think Baker could do something, man. I think he can make his mark. But if he goes in acting like he was acting in his last college season, man, with grabbing his groin and acting a fool, he gonna go the way of Johnny Manziel.
Well, I think
we all know what we know what that led to.
I think one of the best places for him to probably land is a place like Green Bay, where they don't necessarily need him to play for another 4 years, 3 to 4 years, or something like that. But he could develop under. And honestly, I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is a good character guy, but he's a good enough quarterback to teach, you know, for someone to learn under. Because from my understanding, he's a horrible teammate. You know, people complain about him often, but they run a good, safe enough system.
What do you mean a horrible teammate? He
He's
bullies
a jerk.
everybody?
Yeah, I heard he's a jerk.
Well, Michael Jordan's a jerk.
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly.
Hey, you stop.
Michael Jordan is a jerk.
No,
I never want to meet Michael Jordan because I want to continue to like him because I feel like if I met him, I'd want to sock him in his face because he's a jerk. He's an arrogant son of a.
I got the urge to get a 2-piece from
Mama.
No, but back to Baker Mayfield. A lot of people said he's receiving a lot of white privilege, you know, because of all the stuff that's going on. If it was Lamar Jackson who did all those things that Baker Mayfield did in the past year, Lamar Jackson would have been dragged through the mud on ESPN, but because Baker Mayfield is loved, you know, he's not getting that same he's not getting that backlash that Lamar Jackson would get. And in fact, Lamar Jackson, you know, a lot of teams want him to try out to be a wide receiver. And you know, Chris Long from the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, he said, "No, do that, man. If you're a quarterback and you feel in your heart that you can be a quarterback, then you continue to do that. Don't do anything else."
Like they did Jamie Foxx in that one movie, man.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, man, to be a wide receiver and jacked his arm up. He wanted to be a quarterback because he was beaming.
All right, so that question is about, I guess that's OSU's quarterback. What's his name?
Mason
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph. Yeah, I think she's got Zach Randolph there.
Mason,
yeah.
Mason would be is if he goes the same route as Baker Mayfield, being that he gets under a good quarterback, I think Mason would actually his transition would be a lot smoother than Baker's. That's my personal opinion, and not mindset and the maturity to be like, okay, let me learn as much as I can. I think Baker, that's going to be a task for him to do because he's used to being the demand. He's used to. Mason just did very well in a system. He wasn't that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So back to the mainstream of what's going on in the NFL as far as free agency. Like I said, Chase Daniels, one of the best quarterbacks ever to just grace the field, even though he never gets on the field.
I don't like the way you're saying that.
Signed with the Chicago Bears.
Columbia, Missouri.
Yes. And so here's the thing about
Chase, though, man.
It is Chase, and he is every bit of Chase. Like, I follow him on Instagram, and he lives a gentrified life. Let's just say that.
He's a colonizer too.
So, well, the proper term in modern society is gentrifier. Outside of Wakanda, you would say gentrifier. So, but I think he lives a very privileged life, and he's blessed in the sense that he has managed to play the offseason NBA style for the last few seasons, where he's just cut these short 2-year deals, and they give him 2 year with the 1 year opt out, $7 million. Like 1 year is always guaranteed. The bulk of it's guaranteed. He's been getting away with guaranteed money for the past 3 contracts, and he doesn't play, and we're talking $7 million, like $7 million a year on average. He went and did it in Philly. He did it in New Orleans, and now he's done it again in Chicago. And more than likely, he won't get a chance to play in Chicago. I mean, and if he did, it wouldn't matter.
Back up.
Well, they already got two quarterbacks ahead of him.
No, Glennon they cut.
Oh, they did?
Boy, Glennon.
Yeah, they cut Glennon
today.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I expect Glennon to land in. Honestly, I actually expect Glennon to probably land in Kansas City, just knowing just our luck. Or he'll
think everybody's going to Kansas City, man.
Shut up. So, or Arizona. I think if he thinks he's got a flying shot at really
everybody got to go to Kansas City.
They should. Rich Sherman should have came.
Like it's purgatory, sir.
Well, Sam Bradford is going to sign a 1 year, $20 million contract with Arizona.
Yeah.
Double ski mask on.
Man, that's ski mask and dirty shirt and dirty undershirt. Like, that is.
Yes. Just
and a little
baggy undershirt. Yes.
Man.
With stains on.
Man. Now, I think of all the different signings, like, people were criticizing Richard Sherman, but he really pretty much just went home when he went to the 49ers. And so the 49ers is shaping out to be a pretty good team. Dude from Denver is going to be going. He said he wants to join Peterson in the backfield in L.A. with the Rams, right? What is his name? I always end up saying the dude's name from the rapper. It's not Kweli, but it's
Akib
Talib. Yeah. Yeah. So he got
he got traded, right?
No, he got cut.
Man, so he's going to the Rams?
That's what he said he wanted. He would look forward to doing that. He was asked different places he would potentially want to land.
Man, Rams about to mess around and win the Super Bowl next year, man.
Now, the Chiefs did get Sammy Watkins, who... Or Watkins, to be honest with you.
The people named Sammy are usually people who beat up their women.
Man. What? I can't co-sign that. It sounds hilarious, but
everybody that you know named Sammy, they usually beat their women. They're like, man,
Sammy Davis
cheating on her, dude. Huh?
Sammy Davis Jr.? Sammy Davis Jr.
I don't know about Sammy Davis Jr., but
that's the only Sammy I know.
You don't know any other Sammys other than that?
The singer Sammy.
I do remember him.
I remember Sammy.
What was that song he had? Because it was only one.
I like.
I heard that song. Yeah. That was like in what, 90s?
Oh, I guess was it Hitman Sammy Sam, right? Does that count as Sammy?
Oh, God.
Hey, man.
Stepdaddy.
I don't trust Sammys.
Why do I keep, Stepdad, yeah.
Yeah, stepdaddy.
Okay.
But his name is Hitman Sammy Sam.
Okay.
You Hitman Sammy Sam.
Okay, well, yeah.
Why do we not know more Sammys?
It's not any, man. Sammy Sosa, but he's not.
He just beating himself up with that cream.
He's a colonizer now.
He is.
He beat himself to being a colonizer.
Very good, Jay. You learned well, my son.
Well, the Packers cut. So he's looking for.
Why they cut Jordy, man?
And you know he has one destination, and that's New England. It has New England written all over.
He's going to New England. Oh, most definitely.
Yes.
And he gonna light up the Green Bay Packers in New England.
Yeah.
And the Honey Badger Tyrann Matthews, he got cut by the Cardinals today as well.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's a lot of cutting, boy.
Once again, would like to see him with the Chiefs, though. No.
Of course.
Sean Smith is going to jail. He
Well,
wow.
Didn't he get caught with an ounce or something?
Yeah, and he got a year. He got a year.
You got jail for an ounce now?
And Demetrius Harris got 2 days in jail up in Kansas City for getting caught with weed.
Bunch of criminals in Kansas City.
Well, Sean Smith went to the Raiders before he.
Hey, man, they need to go ahead. Okay, you know what? They need to go ahead and legalize weed, man. Really, they need to go ahead.
It's legal where I live. It's more,
you're right.
It's weed shops on every corner. Like it's liquor store. Like how we got liquor stores back home.
Yeah.
No, it's weed shops on every corner here. So that's life on the West Coast.
Wow.
We're veering, fellas.
We're always veering.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We're talking about weed in the NFL. I don't see where that's veering.
That's not veering.
We were talking about free agency,
man. There's heroin and there's weed, sir. There's a big difference between heroin and weed. You don't have to do nothing to weed. Heroin, you got to cook up some stuff.
Why? I don't know why we talking about heroin.
I'm just saying. Heroin is a drug. Weed is from the ground.
All right, that's
That's
another hood debate.
I don't get it, man.
That's a hood debate.
Are we going off the rails?
That was veering.
March Madness.
March Madness. It's time for us to talk about March Madness.
Yeah, let's talk about March Madness, man.
And the Oklahoma State Cowboys did not get in. Let's just go ahead and hop right into it. A lot of people say that they were cheated. Honestly, I don't think most people would notice if it wasn't for the factor that Oklahoma got in. I don't think people would have paid attention to it. That's just my 2 cents.
By the Cowboys. Jayhawks got beat by the Cowboys. But they don't get to go in? That's just crazy. That makes absolutely no sense, man. Wait a minute. Didn't the Cowboys beat the Jayhawks twice?
Yes, they did.
Come on, man. Why are they in the NIT, but OU is in the... Come on, man. That don't even make no sense, man. See, that's about... Huh?
Trae Young.
They don't got a Trae Young.
They don't need a Trae Young. They beat Trae Young. So I don't understand how that works, man. I mean, their schedules are pretty similar. So what did OU have a worse schedule? I mean, a more intense schedule than Oklahoma State?
Yes.
Anybody?
In the early season, OU they beat Oregon, they beat Wichita State, and I like OU football, but I'm not like vouching for them on this because I felt like Oklahoma State got cheated because they did beat the Big 12 champion 2 times this season.
Nice.
But this is right here is why the NCAA is a joke. The only reason why Oklahoma made the tournament is because of Trae Young. Trae Young, they playing in the first game tomorrow. So that means that it's going to be everybody. Yes. And if they win, they play Duke, who is a favorite for CBS in NCAA. So it's all about Trae Young.
That's bull, man. That's bull. As Uncle Phil would say, that's bull.
That's the reason why the NCAA is a joke because even though Oklahoma State was the better team this season, OU had Trae Young. It's just like Oklahoma State gets no respect because even in the BCS, we've seen this year after year where OU can lose and they'll take like a drop, but Oklahoma State loses and they'll take like a 7 or 8 spot drop. It's all about tradition and tradition for football, tradition for basketball. If you're one of those traditional schools, you're going to get in.
That is unfair, man. It's not about tradition. It's about who's doing it right now. Who's beating who right now. So, forget tradition, man. That's stupid. It's all about ratings and money at the end of the day. But yeah, we still got these little small teams that get in. I'm like, why are they getting in? But you got Oklahoma State
I like the fact. I like that they guarantee the small teams to get in. If you win your conference, I like that. I think that because it is any given. Like once the ball goes up, anybody can have a good game and upset someone. I think when it comes to these middle conference, like these teams like OSU, I think that if they're really that dominant, I think they'll go home to this year with the NIT championship. If not,
no. The thing is OSU has to win the Big 12 championship. That's what it all comes down to. OSU did the only way OSU can even get in is if they have a season like they already had and win the Big 12 conference.
Or
they can't have a great season and lose the Big 12 conference because they might not get in.
They got to win the tournament or the conference, and in some cases, maybe both.
I mean, it's just unfair, dude. It's just unfair. No, but then you're right. It is all about ratings.
Jay, how many brackets you got this year, boss?
I did 3 this year.
Who you got?
I picked Arizona in one. I picked Villanova in another one, and I picked Virginia in the third one. But Virginia's their 6th man broke his wrist, so he's out for the tournament. So I got to change that pick around. I'll probably change it to Arizona.
Yeah, you can't change picks.
Hey, I can do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm J-Rock. Just like he Raw Dog, and just like you, Big Drew. I can do what I want to do.
You see, now he want to act like that after 98 shows. Now he want to talk crazy. He was scared of you on episode 1. I was like, why you act like you scared of Drew? Now he want to talk crazy. Because you know what?
We out of here.
See how he acting?
It's my bracket.
You done?
You suck, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put you back in the show now.
Oh, you muted me. Oh, it's like that now. Oh, okay. All right.
What? Boy, he got married and got just full of himself, ain't he?
Man, I tell you. Man. He really did take me out the show, man.
Hey, man, next thing he cuss on the show, man. You're like, Jay, you too much, bro.
I'm going to have a segment called H-Snob. Chris Paul edition.
Calm down, bro.
All right. Don't calm down too much because we're about to bring up the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I don't know, man. It's crazy because we went from almost being out of the playoffs to now we're 4, which being in 4th means nothing because it's really just in all honesty, it's a 4-way tie. It's just that close. And so I don't know. I still don't feel good. Like I still don't feel like, all right, this is a sure thing. We're going to get in. Like I just,
you know what? Here's what I think, y'all. Since now that the Thunder have something to play for, I think they have been as more focused now than they've ever been. Because normally, if they had to play Atlanta in the middle of the season, game.
Yeah.
Simply put, they would have lost that game. But they know every game counts. These guys are going to actually play like they really want to win. So I got a good feeling. We may end up going into the playoffs at 4. I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to lose maybe more than maybe 1 or 2 games for the rest of the season.
I don't know about that. This is a tough stretch going up because we got coming up. We still got to play the Warriors again.
We can beat the Warriors. Rockets going to be a problem. But we can beat the Warriors. We've shown that we can do it, especially when we have to. Now the Rockets are going to be a problem. It's a matchup problem. But I think the only team that's going to really give us a lot to deal with in the next few games is probably going to be the Rockets. I don't Golden State to me we can beat them. We've shown that. Just because Golden State won that last game, don't get it twisted. Golden State.
Will Klay Thompson be back? Because I know Klay just went out for 2 weeks with a hand injury. And then we got Steph out for another week, we know, at least with the ankle injury. So it all depends on what Golden State team we get back. Do we get back a healthy team?
Where are they playing at?
It's in Oklahoma City this time.
Yeah, we'll beat them in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But Rockets, we're going to have a problem. That's why I said we may lose 1 or 2 games before the end of the season. But the rest, I think we'll win.
Yeah.
Maybe
We got the Clippers, Toronto, Boston, Miami, Portland, San Antonio, Denver, New Orleans. Every team that they play from here on out is a playoff contender team. So it's no more, taking any games off. This is pretty much March Madness for Oklahoma City. They can't lose any more games because if they lose a game, it's a chance they'll the seventh. Right now, you got the Spurs who are on the outside looking in. They are in 10th place right now in the Western Conference.
They're losing left and right. They done lost about 3 or 4 games in a row.
But they have Kawhi Leonard coming back tomorrow night.
That means
he should be a big.
He's not at 100%. He ain't played all year, man. He's not the Kawhi that dominates like that. He's gonna be a little rusty. He's gonna be a little rusty, man. So they still gonna be the same Spurs that's been playing for the past 5-6 games that they can't close people out. Kawhi coming back doesn't mean that all of a sudden they're good because Kawhi hasn't played all year, man. He got to knock some of that rust off.
But like I said, look at this from the Portland, who's they're the 3 seed, down to the 10th seed. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams separated by 4.5 games, and we still got a good 3 weeks left in the season. So it's at this point where you can't lose. You have to keep winning in order to stay into the playoffs. Like in the last year with that team Oklahoma City had, they could have went on a 5-game losing streak and they still were going to make the playoffs. This year, if they go on a 5-game losing streak, they're going to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, we're at the exact same point that we were last year, surprisingly, with all the, with the 2 other big names. We're at the exact same spot when it was just Russ trying to get triple doubles, when that was just a highlight.
We're not playing up to our potential at all. Yeah. At all.
I fear that we're going to have pretty much we could almost end up with the same exact result if we end up seeded 6 or if we end up seeded in those last 2 spots. I believe there's a chance that we can exit. And to be honest with you, and I hate saying this because it may sound biased to you guys, but the way Portland's been playing lately,
yeah,
it's crazy because Lillard is playing like he wants to prove something. Now, I don't think it's deep playoff. Like, I don't think the team is talented enough to be deep playoffs, but they are playing kind of impressive. So
I think the Portland Trailblazers are spoilers. Yeah. They're going to take somebody out that wasn't supposed to be taken out.
Well, see, that's the thing where, like, I would want to avoid them. I think the safest place for us is 4 or 5. Like, just period, point blank. If it comes to us at getting a chance to advance, it's going to have to be 4 or 5 because I think whoever's in, who's flip-flopping with us, whether it's somehow, if San Antonio gets it together, I think we can beat San Antonio. I think if anybody who's around the same range as us who's floating around there, I think we can take them. I think my bigger concern is really with those first 3 teams. They are going to be really tough to beat. I think we could probably take Portland, but I think they would beat us up so to the point we would get swept the next series.
Right. I think that you're right. If we're in a good situation like a 4 or 5, and the top 3, one of the top 3 teams in the later rounds, depending on, like you said, them how they end up beat up by somebody they didn't expect to be, there's a good chance that maybe they may be a little slower than usual because they went through a 7-game series with a team they didn't expect to go through a 7-game series with because the West is pretty tight. You know what I mean? And there aren't any quote-unquote bad teams in the playoffs, unlike the Eastern Conference, where there will be some bad teams going to the playoffs. So the West is up for grabs right now, man. I don't care if you are number 1. The West is up for grabs. Period. Anybody can win out the West.
Actually, in the East, it's no bad teams this year. This is actually the first time in a long time that every team that's in the playoffs has a winning record. But here's something that's
what's the lowest record in the playoffs in the East as far as the playoff teams?
The Heat are 36-32 right now.
So they're barely above 500.
Well, they're 4 games over 500. Out West, this is a funny stat. Of the all 8 teams that are in the playoffs right now, Golden State is the only team that's on a losing streak right now. Everybody else is on a winning streak in the West.
That's interesting. They got some injuries, though, man. That's hurting Golden State. They need their shooters. do it all by himself. He proved that when he was in Oklahoma City.
Well, and it's what we had suspected last year, but it just didn't happen. You can't really empty out your bench like that and expect long-term success. And I think now it's going to come back and bite them. I think this is a much more thinner Golden State bench than it's ever been, and they definitely won't be able to solve. If for some reason Golden State wins it this year, this is going to be known as Kevin Durant's coming out championship. They're going to praise him. They're going to say Clay and Steph wasn't 100%, and Kevin put them on their back, and it's going to be all about him. And
yeah, well, if it's going to be left up to Kevin, they won't be winning it this year because Kevin has no heart. So
see, I feel like right now you don't like the guy.
He does not have any heart.
Did you not watch the finals last year? Or see, this is
with Golden State. It don't take a lot of heart to win. It takes a lot of heart to take your entire team, put them on your back from the very beginning, and take them to the promised land like LeBron has done year in, year out. It don't take a rocket scientist to go to Golden State, a team that's already stacked, a team that already has rings, and win with them. It's like getting the keys to the fastest car on the block. You should be able to beat all the other players, all the other drivers around. You got the fastest car. So I don't want to hear that, man. Kevin has no heart. Now, if he does take that team without Clay, without Steph, yeah, I'll give him a little bit of credit. A little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. But he can't do that. He's not a leader. He's proven he's not a leader. He proved he wasn't a leader in Oklahoma City. He really wasn't a leader in Golden State. He just played his role, and then when it was time for him to make his shots, he made his shots. He wasn't a leader. He still had Steph. He still had Clay. He still had them guys. He still had Monkey Man. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Draymond Green.
So I stand on what I say. Kevin has no heart. He is not a Kobe. He is not a Jordan. He has no heart. He's a ring chaser. Simply put.
You gotta let it go.
No, it's not about letting it go. It's not about letting it go because it's not personal. I'm just telling you what I've seen out of Kevin Durant when he was in Oklahoma City and when he was in Golden State.
I think he's a new man. I agree that the sample of what he's put out there in the past has been, but it's something different about his confidence, about who he is.
But,
I think that
I guess we'll see.
He's got more
Based
heart
on what
now
I've
than he
seen,
did.
He has no heart. He's a ring chaser.
And it's not easy for me to come to terms with saying that about Kevin Durant. Like, I still want to be a little bitter. But the truth of the matter is, the way he's played this year, I'll put to you like this. If it wasn't for the factor that James Harden is just playing lights out, this is probably Kevin Durant would probably be getting another MVP.
Well, I would like to see if he can put Golden State on his back, like he should have did in Oklahoma City, and he couldn't. I would like to see if he can put Golden State on his back and win without Clay being at 100% and without Steph being at 100%. Now, if he can do that, I'll give him his props because it's like, okay, well, he made Golden State his team. But it don't take no superstar to go to a team that's already stacked and win rings. It don't take heart to do that. It takes okay, well, I'm gonna look at the numbers. I might as well go over here. It takes heart when you take the team and go, look, fellas, y'all get on my back. I got y'all. We going to the promised land. I'm taking you. That separates Kevin Durant from the LeBron James and the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans and the Hakeem Olajuwons and all them cats that won rings. Period.
I mean, I'm just being honest. If we saying that he's a ring chaser, then LeBron is a ring chaser. Because
LeBron started this mess. But
you just said that LeBron it takes somebody like LeBron to win a championship.
Here's the difference. LeBron still was the dominant player wherever he went. He wasn't a Robin. He was Batman everywhere he went, and every time he went to a team, they were a contender.
But think about this. LeBron has won 3 championships. I give him the ring, his first ring when they beat Oklahoma City. Because the second ring, take the Ray Allen shot away. Third ring, take the Kyrie Irving 3-pointer and the Kevin Love stop. Golden State will be on the three-peat right now. So if for what you're saying, LeBron is the same player as Kevin Durant. He's a ring chaser. He hasn't really put a team on his back and won a championship. In my opinion, I felt like Kevin Durant.
What did he just do with Cleveland?
No, he had his team. He had a stack.
He did have a stack team.
That's the thing. Yeah. What you're criticizing Kevin Durant for, we should criticize LeBron James for as well.
I did criticize LeBron James. I did say LeBron was a ring chaser. I did say he was the reason he started this mess to begin with. But it doesn't take away from what I said about Kevin Durant. It doesn't take that away. LeBron is a ring chaser.
But let me ask you something. Of all the players in the league right now, when we're talking just skill set, do you not believe that Kevin Durant has the best skill set right now?
Kevin Durant has a great skill set. I don't question his skill set. I question his heart. It's a big difference. You can have all the skill sets you want, but if you don't have the heart to win as a champion, I mean, come on, man. And that's how I see Kevin Durant. I see him as somebody who had the potential for greatness and chose instead to go to a team that didn't even need him. Didn't even need him. They could have won that ring without him. Didn't even need him.
I don't know
about that.
Yeah, I don't think they could have won without him. Somebody would have stepped up. Somebody would have stepped up if KD hadn't have been there. They had done it before. Why wouldn't they have done it again? They didn't need Kevin. Well, yeah, he did need them because he needed a ring. So there you go. He has no heart.
All right, it's time for us to get into the final cut.
Don't get me started, man. I'll go all night about this.
All right, so the final cut is when we just give you our heart. We're going to get up out of here. We got about 4.5 minutes, J-Rock. 4.5 minutes, man. You on. You got it?
All right. I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. That was a slogan that for the 80s, a lot of us 80s babies, you know, we loved that slogan because we knew when we went to Toys R Us, that was our time to ball out. Christmas time, when you got the newspaper and you catalog, that was your time to just all of their stores. And it's kind of like, even though we're grown, the way business is going now, that it's like just another part of our childhood that has gone away. It's Toys R Us. We all were getting toys from Toys R Us. We all got excited when we seen the commercials, and we all got excited when we seen that big catalog that would come in the mail or in the newspaper. It's just another part of our childhood that's taken away, and we just got to look at it as, you know, things are changing. You know, whether we talk about music, whether we talk about TV, everything has changed in the way from the 80s and 90s to what it is in 21st century. So shout out to the people at Toys R Us for giving us a childhood and letting us be able to dream. And like I say every week, winners win and losers lose, and they all find a way to do what they do. My name is J-Rock, and I'm out.
Well, there's an old saying that says, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Sometimes the easiest route is not the best route for you. And that is where the heart of a champion lies. Champion doesn't take the easy route. Champion takes the hardest route and makes that route his own. I think y'all know who I'm talking about, but he will remain nameless. But that is the way I see somebody who has a champion heart. The person that took the risk of things falling apart, and they took that route anyway. And whether they failed or whether they achieved, they should get credit for taking that hard route to begin with. Because it don't take a rocket science to take the easy route. You know, sometimes you got to take risk in life. You can't always play it safe. Some of the biggest inventions that we've ever had in history came from somebody taking a chance on something and going a hard route and saying not what's already done, but what could be done. That's the heart of a champion. Taking a hard route is easily take the easy route. Man, don't go the easy route every single time. What kind of life are you living? And with that, don't tell God about big problems. Tell your problems you got a big God. And I'm out. Roo.
They say the bigger the cat, the bigger the pillow. All right, so for my final cut, You see this picture behind me? I put up on my screen. It's my son. This is my son. This is a picture from the Columbian newspaper here. That's the local newspaper here in the Vancouver area. And this is him part of the protest that took place today. Across the country, kids walked out because they're getting tired of nothing being done. And so schools came together with children, and instead of just having them out there just doing their own thing, there was a lot of organized protest where they could walk out of school, have their voice heard, and, and really show the country that they care and that the new America that they're going to take over will be one that will be fair and just. And I love this about this new generation because they're choosing to say that they're not going to have it. And it's something I wish my generation had more dog. I wish we had more fight, and we could have done some of these things. Root our children on as they do this, because the truth of the matter is our generation has set back and let the NRA and all these other lobbyist groups push their agenda, whether it's a liberal or a conservative group, no matter what it is. They've always pushed their agenda through lobbying and sliding a little bit of money. Our kids are coming up and knowing and believing that they might have to take it to the streets. So we need to support them in their efforts to let them know that they don't have to do it backdoor, that they can take this country back and they can truly actually make it great again. So let's support our kids, all right? And that's my final cut. Remember, hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. And we love you guys for listening to the Barbershop 918. Make sure you check us out at
thebarbershop918.com. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Buzzsprout, FM. Hey, man, if you ain't Googling us and you ain't looking for us, because we everywhere. And that's how we roll, man. Barbershop 918. Shout out to all the barbershop heads that are listening, watching. We love you guys. We just try to entertain and inform all at the same time.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
So when you Google the Barbershop 918, you come up with good stuff, man. You just redid the website. One of the first things to come up is the Stitcher page. Then
I know,
page.
Stitcher goes hard. Yeah, Stitcher. That's another one you can listen to us on.
So
yeah. But the page looks great, and hey, man, we got big things in the future with our website. We're constantly working on it, and we'll get to where it's going to be more interactive as much as possible, man. You know what I'm saying? Sports beats in life. That's what we all about. Barbershop 918, zeroing in on show 100.
Yeah, man, we're going to do something special. Jay, give them a sneak peek of what you're going to be doing on for show 100.
Now,
okay.
Why are you stuttering?
The weather
got my voice down. It's your allergies. Okay.
Yeah, it's too much hollering at you, Drew. That's got his voice all.
He did. He yelled at me today.
He yelled at you.
He did.
I apologize.
I was scared, man. It was.
I apologize.
It was rough. Now I know what his kids look. I know what his kids felt like. I had dirty tears and everything.
Pray for me. Pray for me.
Sorry, Mr. Wallace.
You gonna be sorry. Now get out there with Clarence. Like, man. Like.
and we yeah.
Now you want to be.
Now you want to rush us. Okay.
Man, that was a long show. Woo.